Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Yogesh Kulkarni. I am the consultant gynecological cancer and robotic surgeon at Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital. In this video, over next couple of minutes, I would be sharing my views about what are gynecological cancers and how we can diagnose, treat, and prevent it. The first question that comes to our mind is, what are gynecological cancers? Gynecological cancers are the cancers which develop in the female genital tract, which composes of uterus, ovaries, fallopian tubes, cervix, vagina, and vulva. So cancer can develop in any of these organs, but the most common areas where we see these cancers is cervix, which is probably the most common gynecological cancer and the second most cancer seen in women in India, followed by ovarian cancer and followed by endometrial cancer, what we call as cancer which develops in the lining of the uterus. Now, what are the symptoms for gynecological cancers? I think for cervical and endometrial cancer, the most common symptom that the patient encounters is irregular bleeding. So you get bleeding when you actually don't expect it. So in between periods, or if you are postmenopausal, you get a bleeding suddenly after 2 or 3 years of menopause, and that is a warning sign that you need to see your doctor in order to find out whether there is any problem developing inside. For ovarian cancer, it's basically this. There are no specific symptoms for ovarian cancer. They are very vague symptoms. In terms of gastrointestinal disturbances, you have nausea, reduced appetite. Sometimes there is constipation. You get the feeling of bloating, and most of the times, these symptoms are ignored as regular gastrointestinal symptoms, and by the time they actually cause problems, the cancer is fairly advanced. So what I suggest is, it's very difficult to pick it up, but if you develop any of these symptoms like postmenopausal bleeding or irregular bleeding or bleeding that happens after or during intercourse, or you have some vague gastrointestinal symptoms, it's better to see your gynecologist and just evaluate that nothing is going grossly wrong. Coming to how the cancers are diagnosed. Now, whether we suspect cancer or whatever we think of, the cancers are always diagnosed by taking a tissue sample for biopsy. Biopsy is essentially identifying the abnormal area, taking a piece of tissue, seeing it under microscope, and cancer can only be diagnosed under the microscope. Whatever I may think on my examination, nobody would be able to start treatment unless there is what we call as biopsy diagnosis of cancer. Now, biopsy is a very simple procedure. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. So if we find that there is an abnormality, we just ask the patient to come, we take a biopsy, the report is available to us within 2 to 3 days. Once the biopsy confirms that there is a malignancy, then the next important part comes, depending on what kind of cancer it is whether the cancer has spread or not. And there are variety of tests that are available to us, like a CT scan or MRI, or nowadays we also have a PET scan. Now, depending on what we suspect, we decide which of these three modalities are to be used in order to evaluate whether the cancer has spread or not. The treatment of the cancer is dependent on what stage the patient comes to us. Say, for example, for cervical cancer, for early stage cervical cancer, we offer the patient surgery. For locally advanced and advanced cervical cancer, chemotherapy plus radiation is the treatment of choice. For ovarian cancer, almost 80% of the patients will be offered surgery first, followed by chemotherapy. In 20% of the patients where the disease is very advanced, we give them chemotherapy first, reduce the bulk of the disease, and then operate on them. For endometrial cancer, as a rule of thumb, almost all the patients are offered surgery first unless the patient is unfit for surgery or the disease is so advanced that surgery is not possible. Now, as far as surgery goes for cancer, you can do these surgeries in different ways. There is the conventional surgery or open surgery as we understand. There is laparoscopic surgery, which is an early evolution of a keyhole surgery, and then what we call as robotic surgery, which is a newer technology meant to be more precise, particularly for cancer surgeries, because The instrumentations are far more flexible than conventional laparoscopy. Now, all patients that we see are not fit for all three kinds of surgery. So, open surgery is a rule of thumb. Now, only if the patient is fit to undergo a minimal access surgery, we offer them either a laparoscopy or a robotic surgery. The advantage of keyhole surgery is basically the pain, post-operative pain is less, the hospitalization is less, your recovery is faster, and you can get back to work faster. But the important thing here to remember is the safety. So even though all these factors are in favor of patient, unless the surgery is safe for patients, we do not offer robotic or laparoscopic surgery. I have a very simple message to all the women of this country. I think the health of the family is dependent on how healthy the lead female of the family is. And I just want you to take control of your health, make use of the technology and the facilities available, because cancer does not identify or spare individuals. The only way we can fight this disease is by using all the facilities that are available at our disposal to prevent or diagnose it early so that we can treat it effectively. So take control of your health. That's the only message I want to give.